What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about what it's like living in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Let's get into the video. My name is Ramon Lomeli. I'm a local realtor and the team leader of the Smart Move Group brokered by eXp Realty here in Winston-Salem, as well as all the surrounding areas. And the reason that I wanted to make this update video, because I've done this video before, but this is for 2023. Many things have changed in the city, but some are still remaining the same. And that's what we're going to be diving into today. Before we do, though, I just want to remind you, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything at all that I can do to help, feel free to reach out. I'm always available for a quick chat, text message, or you can even email me. I am going to leave a bunch of helpful links in the about section of this video, so make sure you check those out. And that's going to include some homes that are currently for sale in the area, as well as the Winston-Salem relocation guide and some other awesome goodies down there. If you want to be my friend on social media, feel free to look for the links down there. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, Threads now too, surprisingly, Facebook, and of course you can be my friend on YouTube. Oh, and lastly, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, leave me a comment, but above all, subscribe. Those kinds of things keep me motivated to keep pumping out those videos for you. So first, let's talk briefly about the history of Winston-Salem. So we know that before any Western settlements, this area was inhabited by a lot of Native American tribes. But we do know that in the 1700s, followers of the Moravian Church were trying to settle this area, and they had many interactions with the Cherokee. Now, originally there was a town of Salem and there was a town of Winston. The Salem settlement was first. So Salem dates back to that Moravian settlement back in 1753. And the word Salem derives from shalom, which is the Hebrew word for peace. Then we fast forward to the mid-1800s when the area starts to become well known and very popular for growing tobacco. And that's when the town of Winston is formed, and it's actually named after a Revolutionary War hero, Joseph Winston. Now, because both of these areas were still quite small, they shared one post office, and so everything that was coming from this area was marked Winston-Salem. And so in 1913, they officially adopted the name of Winston-Salem. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, the Reynolds family had a ton of influence in this area. This family is really well known in the tobacco industry as well as the tinfoil industry. For a period in the 1900s, Winston-Salem was actually the biggest city in North Carolina, but obviously Raleigh and Charlotte and some other cities have blown us out of the water by now. But we do have some major companies that still operate or originate here in Winston-Salem. Hanes brand K&W Cafeteria has their main office here. Of course, Krispy Kreme Donuts is from Winston-Salem. Lowe's Foods started off in the mountains of North Carolina. Now they're based out of Winston-Salem. And you still have RJ Reynolds here, or Reynolds America. Texas Pete is from Winston-Salem, as well as True Line Federal Credit Union is from this area. So if you like hot sauce, donuts, and underwear, you're welcome. Now let's talk a little bit about the geography. And this is one of the things that I really love about this area, because if you're a beach person or a mountain person, you really don't have to choose, because we have a mountain right down the road, or you can travel to the big Appalachian Mountains or the Great Smoky Mountains within a few hours. And that's to the west, but if you go east within 3-4 hours, you're gonna be at the beach. So it's perfect to do a day trip, or take off during the day, spend the night in an Airbnb and come back the next day. So I find that really convenient, because we tend to go to the mountains in the fall, sometimes the winter, but summertime, hey, we're going east to the beaches. And we do have some amazing beaches along the North Carolina coast, but we're also really close to the South Carolina, the famous one there being Myrtle Beach. But you also have Wilmington and Wrightsville Beach and a ton of other beaches that if you're not from the area, you've probably never heard of, but trust me, you're really missing out. Now, in my experience, Myrtle Beach seems to be like the party beach, right? You go there if you want to be in the nightlife and have some drinks and things of that nature, but North Carolina beaches are more, family oriented, I should say, and they are more calm. It's perfect to have a perfect relaxed vacation with the family, with the kids, to get away from everything. And the mountains are beautiful. We have some amazing scenery out there. I mean, just being out there seems super peaceful. And you have some amazing towns like the town of Asheville, or the city of Asheville, I should say, as well as Cherokee, North Carolina, if you like to gamble. And staying on the geography topic, I should also mention that a lot of people, when they come here, it's been my experience that they're surprised the terrain here is not very flat. So like, I'm originally from Southern California, where everything's basically flat, but here, not everyone, very few people, I should say, actually get like a flat backyard. It's rare to have you know, acres of flat land. We have a lot of up and down hills, a lot of rolling hills we like to call it, and we have a lot of curvy roads as well, a lot of winding roads up and down hills. So it's, you know, not very grid-like like in other major cities. We're a very windy area. And we should also talk about what the weather is like. If you're going to be moving here, that's very, very important. It's currently 86 degrees and sunny, and not a cloud. There's a couple clouds out there, but not very many clouds in sight. The way I'm recording this on the 10th of July, 2023. And it looks like the high for this week is going to be 92, 93 degrees. But overall, in Winston-Salem, we have very, very mild weather. The winters don't get too cold. Some years it doesn't even snow. This past year, we didn't get any snow. And the summers don't get too hot, honestly. And it does get hot and muggy, but definitely not muggy like, you know, I've been to Florida recently, and I've been to Hawaii for my honeymoon, and we've been vacationing in Puerto Rico. Those places are humid. That's real humidity. Here, I mean, you feel a little sticky. It's hard to breathe. But after experiencing those 3 places, I'm like, man, what are we complaining about in North Carolina? There's 3 things about our weather or weather related events that I would, you know, make sure that I warn you about if you're thinking about moving here. A, the humidity. B, the allergies. We do get a pretty heavy seasonal allergies here, springtime, sometimes in the fall. I find that if I just take an Allegra, I'm a-okay. So it's not that big of a deal for me. Some people are more susceptible to allergies though. And in the winter time, sometimes we don't get snow, but we'll get some rain, and then overnight it'll freeze and we have black ice. If you're from the north or you're from a place where it snows, you probably are familiar with black ice. It is dangerous, so just be careful if you're driving in the mornings before the sun comes out and melts all the ice. You know, just be very careful with that. And I've actually broken down the actual like stats about the weather in previous videos, so feel free to go check those videos out. But you know, just overall, I want to reiterate: very mild weather. Winters don't get too cold, summers don't get too hot, a little muggy, a little allergies, careful with the black ice. But that's about it. Other than that, it's pretty enjoyable. The fall is by far my favorite season here in the Carolinas, and Winston-Salem especially. That's what I like to call fire pit season. So, you know, we get together with our friends, have a little fire pit in the back, and just roast some marshmallows or drink a couple beers in front of the fire. Up next, we're going to talk about the people of Winston-Salem. Before we do that, I just want to remind you though, real quick, do me a favor, hit that like button, leave me a comment where you're watching this video from. But above all, subscribe. Those kinds of things really keep me motivated to keep pumping out these videos for you. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, my contact info is in the about section of this video. I'm probably going to put my phone number somewhere on the screen. Don't forget about the links in the about section of this video as well. Helpful information, homes currently available, relocation guide, as well as all my social media handles in case you want to be my friend on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or even Threads now. So the people of Winston-Salem, what are they like? Well, by and large, I find that the people of Winston-Salem, complete strangers, are still completely nice. And this is something that I was worried about because the city seems to be growing exponentially, and we're becoming a city of more transplants than locals now because so many people are moving to the area. But the fantastic thing that I find is that people are still super friendly. Sometimes I play a game with myself where I'm just like, let me see how many waves I can get. And if I wave at 10 people, 9 of them are gonna wave back. You don't know them, they're just being friendly, waving back. People hold doors open for you. People let you merge in traffic. Not always, definitely sometimes they don't let you, but for the most part, driving in the Winston-Salem city traffic is way more relaxing, or way less stressful, I should say, than driving in a big city. And that's another thing. We don't have a ton of traffic here. Yeah, you'll slow down at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 9 a.m. rush hour traffic, you're going to slow down for sure, but very rarely, unless there's a wreck or construction, do you ever come to a complete stop. So the people are nice still, and that remains the same. The weather is awesome here, but what about the home prices and the rent prices? So according to Zillow, the average price of a home for sale in Winston-Salem is about $246,000. It seems to be up about 9.5% since this time last year, and the data from Zillow is telling me that the homes are lasting around 6 days on the market. Now, honestly, when I was looking at the MLS, 241 seems a little bit low. I feel like more realistically, you're talking 260s, 270s for the average price point, because it just seems that everything that's under 250 flies off the market with multiple offers. And the average days on market, I tend to agree with that. We do have some properties that are really well priced, that look beautiful in really good areas, that have a ton of multiple offers. But then again, we have some areas, some properties rather, in not necessarily bad areas, but not as desirable areas. They're lasting a little bit longer on the market, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 days. So you still got to move quick, but at least in some of these options, you get a chance to maybe go home, sleep on it, talk about it with the spouse, and then make a decision. And as of right now, you can still get like a brand new construction 3 or 4 bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, 2-car garage home in Winston-Salem under $300,000. And that's not to say that, you know, in the little areas outside of Winston-Salem, there's even better opportunities that are cheaper, less taxes, more land. I mean, if you have a budget around 200, you're gonna get something nice. I will say though that as far as the homes and the rentals, we have a severe lack of inventory, and that's why new construction homes have become really, really popular. I have 9 under contract, mostly from people like you watching this video of new construction homes, because the resale market is just, you know, it's not there. There's just not a ton of inventory. And so what I feel like is happening is that because the interest rates are higher right now, people don't want to sell because they know they're going to leave their 2, 3, 4% interest rate for a 6, 7% interest rate. So they're like, well, the home may be oversized, but what are my options here? Would I pay essentially a higher interest rate, maybe making my payment higher for a property that could be smaller, or, you know, so things like that factor into it for sure. But there is a lack of inventory for both homes for sale and for rental homes. Now, according to Zumper.com, I've actually never heard of Zumper, but the data seemed to be right there, and it was the most up-to-date data I could find. It says that as of July of this year, the average price for a 3-bedroom apartment is $1,650. Now, from what I've seen on MLS, you can get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in the $1,300-$1,400 range, but you're probably paying your own utilities there. And in the highly desired areas or something bigger, then you're probably looking more like $2,000, $2,200, $2,300 a month. So let me know how that compares to your city. So let me know if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, especially thanks if you made it all the way to the end. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel. If you need anything from me, don't forget to call or text or email my contact info. I think it's this, maybe it's this corner, I'm not sure. Don't forget about the links in the about section, and I'll see you in the next video.